Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. There's another paid request, this time for Michael. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, reviews, re-reviews, pretty much any type of video, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And Michael, if you're watching, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate the request. Now, also if you hear background noise, it's one of the cats. They're meowing a lot, so again, I apologize for that. Not much I can do, because I'm not going to go and yell at a cat. You know, it is what it is. That doesn't do anything, and that's I don't do that. I just, you pussy. Yeah, I guess I am. I don't do that, but. Silent Hill 2006, the movie. I'm a big fan of the games. I mean, right here, they even playing this. This is my favorite game. Well, it's between this and Resident Evil 4 is my favorite game of all time. This game I played time and time again on the PlayStation 1 when I was a teen, way, way back in the day. I like the other games, but these are my two favorites. So the fact they were making a movie, very cool. I mean, Jacob's Ladder, the basis, or one of the bases, from 1990 is a favorite movie of mine. Legitimately a favorite of mine. And then when this film came out, I'm like, wow, it looks really cool. And the music is the music from the games. But the writing, the pacing, the length, the way they mash. They take stuff from Silent Hill 2, and then they try to put in Silent Hill 1, and then they try to put Pyramid Head. And if you know Silent Hill 2, and you know what Pyramid Head stands for, you know why it makes no damn sense why he's in Silent Hill 1. And then this. I have to mention this. This got the bug up my ass. In the original game, the lead was Harry Mason. The director and the writers say this, mainly the director. Quoted, they realized they were working with a completely feminine world. The director explained that if you look closely at the game and do not take into account the appearance, you can see that the characters behave more like women than men. They are worried about the child, they are very sensitive and often cry. All this is stereotypical for mother characters. The whole movie's about motherhood. This bit here, they are worried about the kid, they are very sensitive and cry, stereotypical for mother characters. Number one, I don't know what game he played. When did Harry Mason cry in this? I played this quite a few times. When did he cry in this? When did he cry? And how does he act feminine? Because he's a dad wanting to find his daughter? The guy wants to find his daughter, make sure she's safe, but that is feminine. I almost want to say this is woke before it was woke was a thing. You take a dump on the main character, you throw him away, you swap him, which they do that nowadays, but they were doing it back then. Well, Harry Mason ain't good enough. It's gotta be a lady. For no damn good reason. Because that's not a good reason. That's a stupid reason. That is a stupid damn reason. Oh, if you look for your child and you're worried and you want to save their life, that means you're very sensitive and you're stereotypical mother characters. So it has to be a woman who's the star of the movie. Fuck the source material, right? Jesus Christ. Stuff like that is what makes me pissed off at this movie. So I know we're about 5 minutes in. Let's get into it. 3, 2, 1, pressing play. I appreciate the music. I love it starts out with the music. And they got the same composer who did the Silent Hill games, at least the first bunch. Akira Yamaoka. Now this is directed by Christoph Gans, who directed Crying Freeman, who directed The Brotherhood of the Wolf. And I'm trying to remember if I saw this in a theater. I have to assume I did, because I'm such a Silent Hill fan. And yeah, I did see this in the theater. I was sitting there going, who the hell is this lady? Like, who the hell is this girl? And here's the thing, Silent Hill, when you look at the games, not many of them are connected. I mean, 1 and 3 are connected. But Silent Hill 2 is its own isolated story. Silent Hill Downpour, isolated story. Silent Hill 4 The Room. Some say it wasn't meant to be Silent Hill in the first place, but still its own isolated story. There may be a little reference here and there, but if that's the case, then make your own isolated story. Don't make the first game, but then change this and change this and change this, and to my opinion, butcher a lot of the game so that a lot of the psychological aspect is gone, and instead, something made me go, if director wanted to make Hellraiser instead of Silent Hill. So this lady, and here's the thing, there's certain parts that reminiscent of the game, or you did, like, this is a cool visual shot. That's the thing, the director does a very good job in terms of visuals. And the idea of the little kid in the game, Harry Mason found this baby, and you find out that the soul was separated back in the day, and there was this ritual. But again, it's like they did the Cliff Notes version of Silent Hill and then make a movie off of that, but then they don't realize, like, what makes Silent Hill Silent Hill, what makes it creepy, what makes it atmospheric, what makes it worthwhile and palatable. Like the fact that Silent Hill, one of the things about the game is how isolated you are, how alone you are. Other than the monsters, you're lucky if you meet 5 people in each of those games. I mean, Silent Hill 4 is the victims. Silent Hill 1, it was the cop, the doctor, the nurse, Gillespie. I mean, yeah, you could probably name one hand. But here, once you go into town, there's a whole army of people. And why do they make this little girl so weird and fucking mental? It made it so that she seemed annoying. I remember in the theater going, what the fuck is this meow bullshit? Look how she's like, meow, meow, meow. I mean, it's like, act fucked up. Like, don't act normal or natural. And here's the thing, the lead, Ronna Mitchell, I like Ronna Mitchell. She was in the first Pitch Black. I enjoy that movie. She was in Road, underrated crocodile movie from Australia, from the director of Wolf Creek. Has a Sam Worthington before he was famous with Avatar. Road is an underrated crocodile movie. She's good in Road. She's good in, like I said, Pitch Black. I like Ronna Mitchell as an actress. But I would have preferred if they just did their own original story, not try to do the first one, but then try to push in the second game, and then do, wow, what does, that reminds me of Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. But again, this is better, because at least it's better filmed. At least it looks with a good bit of style. Welcome to Raccoon City looked like it cost $25. Here, at least the visual and the music. huge credit that the music, the score, I got a lot of it's from the game. Like this right here is from the game, the first game. To me, that's the thing is that you look at and you watch it, and the thing is, it could be better. And yeah, it's better than the second film, I'll give you that. One of the reasons this film is so long is apparently in the original script, the studio said, there's no men in this. And so Sean Bean, the Beanie Baby, he was supposed to be at the very beginning and the very end. All the stuff with him doing useless crap, they put that into the script. And truthfully, you could edit all that out and it wouldn't make a damn... Well, it would make a difference. It would make it a faster pace. Because Sean Bean, he's only there to listen to exposition. Oh, there were fires. Yeah. That was another thing, is that they made it where it was ashes. I don't remember it being ashes in the game. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff they change. And this is the thing, they change it for no good reason. What, you want to see? Yes, because this is PlayStation 1. Okay, this is PlayStation 1. It's not like a PS4 where... Now they did a PS5, they almost looked as good as Pixar. It's PS1. So yeah, to see that full-fledged, yeah, that would be nice to fucking see. So yeah, this came out April 2006. Grossed 100 million worldwide. Got negative reviews. I know Roger Ebert hated it. Played by inane dialogue, muddled plot, overlong running time. I agree with that. Like Roger Avery, I think did a terrible job writing this film. This guy who helped work with Quentin Tarantino with Pulp Fiction. But, you know, we can guess who did more of the work on that. Tarantino. People don't say, well, it's not like the video game had good acting and dialogue. That's why you improve it with a movie. See, I don't get that. It's okay if it's shitty. It was shitty in the game. But that's why you improve on it. You do better. You do better to have better acting and better dialogue. That's the point, is that keep the positive, fix the negative. If the negative is the dialogue, you fix it. If you think the negative is the acting, you fix it. But certain way people talk and certain way people react are just off. And here's the thing, I'm not even going to say Ronna Mitchell is the problem. It's just, I'm watching, I'm going, that should be Harry Mason. And you know who I would choose? Thomas Jane. That should be Thomas Jane as Harry Mason. If it was Thomas Jane as Harry Mason, I think it would help a lot, because it would alleviate this crawl in the back of my head of... I understand. You choose the best person for the job. But at the same time, it's like... These unnecessary changes, this is to your main character. I understand, Harry Mason is not in the annals of characters of video games like Leon Kennedy or Chris Redfield or Master Chief. Of course, from what I understand, they fucked that up too in the new Halo show. But it's just, I can't help it. As a hardcore fan of the game, I totally looked at it through my point of view, and it still pisses me off that they just threw Harry Mason under the bus. I think that sucks. Now this cop is played by Laurie Holden. She was in The Majestic with Jim Carrey. She was the Michael Chiklis's former love interest in the Fantastic Four, the 2005 film. Here she plays Sybil Bennett. And I didn't mind her casting. See, she was in Dumb and Dumber 2. She was in The Mist. Speaking of Thomas Jane, she was in The Mist. And like this here, they're like the kid sleeping with the book and panning over to the driver. Yeah, trying to make it look like the game. I would give credit to some of that visual stuff. But all it does is make me want to go play the video game, because it was a creepier, more atmospheric feel to it and mood to it. So we're adding this whole thing here where this person gets stopped by the cop car. Motorcycle. And the game is just Sybil passes her by, they're both entering town, and this thing happens. But now we gotta have this whole thing where, yeah, let's piss off a police officer so we can get arrested. And like I said, you didn't even need the dad character in this. You said the studio, tough studio, we don't, there's no man. Well, there was in the fucking game. Maybe studio should have stepped in when, oh, why are you changing the main character for no damn reason? Oh, you changed it for a very stupid reason. I get you. I know, I keep complaining about that. I know. Here we're trying to get ready to enter Silent Hill. The radio's messed up. Maybe it's the UFO ending. That'd be funny. It's a UFO ending. Again, the way this girl acts, it's like she's acting like she's 5 years younger than she should. Mommy! Like, again, she's acting like she's 5 years younger than she is. That's why I mean her acting is a bit so off kilter. And it starts with that little girl, and it continues with the way some of the townspeople act, some of the other people act. Now, just like the game, you find out your kid's missing, you go off to see what's going on. And they put some money into this. I mean, $50 million. You know, put $50 million into this. I mean, they didn't... Pretty decent budget. And the director's trying, you know, with the camera work. But the thing about Silent Hill is that it's this fear of you don't know what's further ahead of you. That's so much suspense you could twist all the tension for what it's worth. Every little bit of it. Get every little bit of tension out of situations and scenarios. Because you can't see clearly. Because you're alone. Because it feels, oh, that's a bad green screen shot. Yeah, that's better. Let's go back to Nathan Drudge. But the idea of being isolated and alone in a town, idea like in the first game, for a good chunk of that game, you're by yourself, wandering, looking, and again, you only meet 3, 4 people. And the cop, Gillespie, doctor, the nurse. Again, it's funny that he wants to change some of these stuff, but then it's like, okay, you want to keep her going to the alleyway. You want to keep certain camera angles, certain camera movements. Like that's a cool shot, going in the stroller. When she goes down here, you have the alarm in the background. Be coming up. So there you go. So again, it's like it wants to be very faithful, which I appreciate it, but then it's like you can't get half pregnant. You're either pregnant or you're not pregnant. But this movie is half pregnant. And that's the best way for me to put it. It's half pregnant. It gets some things, but then it wants to have its cake and eat it too. It wants to be, this is faithful, but this is not because of this, and this. So like, okay, we're going to create and recreate the lighter and going around, and then she's going to see the body, just like Harry Mason did at the beginning of the first game. And these weird little creatures. Granted, had done CGI. Would have been nice if they got just grab little people and get suits and makeup on them. Just like the later on when you have the nurses, that's makeup. Just get little people and be like, have these suits and. Like here, I appreciate, like, this camera angle is what it was in the game. This interesting, cool camera angle. And the motion in one shot. Oh, that's cool, I remember the thing, oh, that's cool, it's like the game, yeah. But it's weird idea what stuff it keeps to be like the game and then what stuff it doesn't. Ideas is like, hey, here's the big homage for the gamers, now we can do our own thing. And people, well, you don't have enough to do a movie. Bullshit. I've seen people telling people take the first Silent Hill game and make a 90-minute movie. Or even a 2-hour movie. So don't tell me you can't fucking do it. And this is like the beginning of the first game. Is you have the, well, not that part, seeing the girl, but you have the body there. All these gates, this wire. I don't. Gates are the best word. And then you see that. Strung up body. That looks so shit. You know what that looks like? Remember the Alan McBeal baby? Imagine Alan McBeal baby was put into an incinerator. That's what these things look like. Like, those look garbage. You say it was 2006, but they look fucking garbage. I just did a bunch of little people put practical makeup on them. And you know what? It was creepy when there was only 1 or 2 of them in the game. Here, let's have 1,000 of them. That doesn't make it creepier. That makes it less creepy. That doesn't make it creepier because you put 1,000 CGI things into them. And granted, it was more the sequels that got more into the psychological game. Probably not so much the first one. But when you think of Silent Hill as a whole, as a franchise, most of them are kind of looked at as psychological games of what your inner demons, inner fears bring to the table. Like in the second game, it was the guy's guilt for what happened with his wife. Homecoming, it was a soldier, but then it's this past that happened involving his younger brother. Of course, you gotta put Johnny Cash in a ring of fire. I love Johnny Cash, but I don't know if it was needed for this bit here. That didn't come off as scary or creepy. Because even then, that's a scene that should be creepy because you only see with the lighter. And you barely see what it is. And you turn around, there's a creature there. And there's another creature. Maybe 3, maybe 4 at most. And you look it around, you can only see with the reflection of the lighter. And instead, it's like, let's put 1,000 of them. And it's so bright because of, I guess they glow now. Or they didn't glow in the game. And yeah, you just see it. What I can only do is give my opinion. Doesn't mean people don't agree with it. I just have the scene by the light that will make it claustrophobic. That's the thing when you get to nighttime and you can't see but you hear the noise. Less is more. Now these shots are cool, like in the game where the whole world is broken apart and you can't escape anywhere. And that's why I said I'm schizophrenic with this. Is this one of the worst video game adaptations? No. Not by a long shot. I mean, it's better than Welcome to Raccoon City or most of the Resident Evil movies. It's better than a lot of this other shit. And there is Dalia Gillespie, played by Deborah Kara Under. Which in the game, she's a bit more villainous. And Deborah Kara Under, she was in the game with Michael Douglas. She was in Payback with Mel Gibson. She was in Highlander 3. I forgot she was in 88 Minutes with Al Pacino. I would say the game is what I remember most. Oh yeah, she was in that White Noise movie with fucking Michael Keaton. This is better than White Noise. Now we're going to go back to the constant interruptions from our regularly scheduled program. So we need this useless fucking subplot. You know what you could have done? You could have shot it, and then you edit the movie and go, yeah, that didn't work. Sorry, we're going to edit all the stuff out. And we're going to get all these useless fucking scenes of Shaun the Beanie Baby, looking for his wife, and it leads to nowhere because he doesn't find his wife. Doesn't do anything. I mean, he doesn't die because Sean Bean dies in a lot of movies. He comes back in the sequel and he doesn't die then either, so I guess that's one of the few surprises. Sean Bean is not a bad actor. I just call him Sean the Beanie Baby ever since I saw the Hitcher remake, because I just hate the Hitcher remake so much. It's, to me, it's one of the worst remakes I've ever seen, is the Hitcher remake. Here we have these drawings that she didn't see before. The thing in the game is that you see the drawings because you went to somewhere you haven't been to yet. But here she just happens to have these drawings here. But you're not, supposed to look into that. Of course, the phone ain't gonna work. I know Christoph Gans, he says he's a big fan of the game. I think he was a big fan of just... I don't know. I don't know. It's like he's a guy that works well on a visual front, but just not sure about the rest. Even like, changing the relationship where in the game Sybil and Harry were allies and they were in this weird situation from the get-go trying to figure out what the hell's going on, and I don't know, Sybil just seemed a bit smarter in the game, while here it takes her quite a bit to realize there's something amiss. But see, that's what I mean, is that you don't ever get too long to have the main character have that sense of isolation and feeling like you're alone, or that you're one of only a few people in this town, and that sense of alienation, and to create the fear, to create the paranoia of hearing a noise, and what is that? What is that in the fog? What is that in the darkness when it went to nighttime? What is that? What could it possibly be? And it doesn't help that you break in the movie every fucking 10 minutes for this bullshit Sean Bean useless shit. If the studio's like, well, you need to put this in, then you don't make the fucking movie because it's going to harm your movie. Or hell, film it and go, you know what, I gotta cut it all out because it doesn't work. Sorry. Or you know what, I'm not gonna make it, I need creative control. Or something. So here we have Tim Coates. Tim Coates is a decent actor as well. Tim, if you've seen The Last Boy Scout, you know the guy that keeps browbeating Bruce Willis, keeps hitting him, and Bruce Willis goes, if you touch me again, I'll kill you. And then he punches Bruce Willis again, and Bruce Willis is like, yeah, and shoves his damn nose into his brain. That's Tim Coates. He got the nose right into the brain. He's also one of the people at the beginning of Bad Boys, the original with Will Smith, trying to rob the car. You know, I'm a comedian, but I suck, so I need your car. I think it's Will Smith that then goes, so let me hear one of those jokes, bitch. The guy is trying to rob one of them is Tim Coates. And I think he was in he was in Resident Evil Afterlife a few years after this. Another video game movie. I mean, I'll say this is better than Afterlife. This is the thing. It's better than a lot, but it's just, as a hardcore fan of the game, there's just certain stuff that just grinds my gears. Can't help it. It's hard for me to separate it. It's funny, I could separate with Doom, which a lot of people hate. And Doom I like. And I like the movie. I like the movie more than this, I'll be honest. And that has differences. I get it, but this one is... How people feel about that is kind of how I feel about this. I don't think it doesn't make sense to people. Look, that's like the game, and that's like... Yeah, but... It's like the skin is like... It's got the right skin, but the wrong soul. I don't know, I don't know how to describe it. Oh yeah, how long this cop notices that this is not a person. Now the thing with the phone, that was a neat idea. It's kind of like the radio in the game that showcases that an enemy is coming. Okay, that obviously doesn't look human. Yeah, you just shoot now. And like this is a creature from the second game. Like, they didn't have enough creatures in the first game. They had to steal one from the second game. Like, this is a creature from the second game. Yeah, and the CGI is not the best either, but... Like, why are you stealing villains from the second game? What the fuck? And nothing about that scene was creepy or scary. And why the fuck did she run off? She obviously saw that there was a monster there. Now she go, "Could you please take these handcuffs off of me?" She saw that the damn lady shot the damn creature. It was dead by the time she ran past it. Oh, you killed it. Now can you take these damn handcuffs off of me? Now this is one of my favorite music pieces from the game. I'm glad they put it in here. I do love this piece of music. Now, her using this is supposed to be like using the map in the game. Kinda. That's what I mean, it's like... It's not like the right look. But just not the right feel. I've been like, where's the darkness and the creepiness and the atmosphere? Like, you get to... When you're in the school, that's like one of the creepiest moments in the whole game, and you're in the school alone and it's dark and the only thing that you can see is with this light, and you're trailing around the school and it's nighttime and it's scary, it's creepy. This is broad daylight. There's nothing creepy when everything's broad daylight. You just see everything. Yeah, I don't know why the fuck you didn't just stay with the cop that... The thing is, like, in the game, Sybil told you, like, she gave you, she knows something weird's going on, she gave you a gun for safety. Premise says, well, she doesn't say it, but it's like, hey, you'd like you to stay here, but I gotta try to go for help. Or at least try to reach somebody. But, yeah, we can't do that. What do you need a flashlight for? You can see fine without it. What do you need a flashlight for? You ain't to be Dana Stoley. Country Home Jamboree. God. Yeah, goddamn. Now we're in the real version of Sound Hill, so that kind of just... Any mystery you could maybe incorporate is taken away. Because, well, wait a minute, they're going through Sound Hill, and that's not what... It's completely different. That's another thing about this whole swapping of the people don't go, well, what difference does it make, Matt, that what does it matter if they swap the gender? What difference does it make? Because look what happened. A stupid studio said, well, you gotta have some males in this. The director said yes, put in the script, and then you get this pointless endeavor with the fucking Sean the Beanie Baby stuff that just pushes and drags the running time. And you had a strong female character in Sybil Bennett, so Harry would have fixed that problem. It's like, because you wanted to say, well, it's feminine, again, making no sense, you just create a new problem by now you putting this stupid fucking pointless Sean the Beanie Baby stuff in there. Also, the thing with Silent Hill, like, trying to explain it well, which I do a poor job of it, the thing with the monsters in Silent Hill, they're the manifestations of a person's psyche. So, like, the creature they were shooting at, that was from Silent Hill 2. Because it looked like it was a straitjacket. It was kind of like the mind of James, who feels he's going insane because of what all happened with his wife. Like later on, Pyramid Head. The reason Pyramid Head was in Silent Hill 2 is it represented James's guilt. And also with Silent Hill, technically the plot of the game is, I don't know if ambiguous is the right word, but you kind of meant to figure it out yourself. Especially if you play more and more and you take from it what you give to it in a weird way. But so much is, I think Roger Ebert said in a review, it's confusing, but it explains stuff way, way, way too much. It explains it with Sean Bean's character. It's explained with the cult character. The movie literally stops for Alessa to give a goddamn speech at the end. It just seems clunky as fuck. So this is a person who was like a janitor and may have done stuff to Alessa. Why he got punished so badly? Sorry, now I'm just watching. Sorry, I just... Again, that gets into what I was saying before, and so I just was lost there for like a good 2 minutes. She'd be like, oh, did your brain malfunction or something? What the hell happened? I'm like, why the fuck do we need these assholes in this? Which, by the way, they put these fucking guys in Silent Hill Homecoming. Which you don't know, Silent Hill Homecoming was the game, Silent Hill game for PS3. There's Silent Hill for PS1, Silent Hill 2 for PS2, Silent Hill 3 for PS2, Silent Hill 4 was on PS2. Some of them were on Xbox as well. And then you had Silent Hill Homecoming and Silent Hill Downpour. Those were on PS3. There was Silent Hill Shattered Memories. I think that was on the Wii. Oh, there was a Silent Hill Origins. That was PS2. But Silent Hill Homecoming was, I think, the first Silent Hill game not done by the usual group that does them. I could be wrong on that. Anyway, Silent Hill Homecoming, that game was more like this movie. Those guys that are pounding the door, they're in the game, and you fight them. And as long as you have the knife, you fucking win. That's the thing about Silent Hill Homecoming. Like, the knife is like the best weapon in that game. Because you get them stuck in a rotation if you do it right. Pretty much we're showing the world going from A to B. But again, it was kind of creepier when you hear it and then you went out and like, what the fuck? Everything changed. Why did everything change? Because it felt, that's the thing. Even the first game, it felt more psychological. This is not. It's like they thought they wanted to be more, I don't know, Hellraiser, Resident Evil, I don't know what the hell you call it. I don't know, and again, I don't know what the fuck this thing. It sounds like fucking Hellraiser thing. See, even the cat's moaning about it. Guy drawn. I'll be right back. Let me double check some real quick. Sorry about all the distractions. They either got me zoning out or trying to quiet the cat down. Yeah, I apologize. I'm paused at 45 minutes 57 seconds in. Again, 45 minutes 57 seconds in. 3, 2, 1, pressing play. Yeah, I apologize for that. The guy, looks like a reject from Hellraiser, came out doing the Michael Jordan ton. And some of this design is really neat to look at. That's how the movie, it's at times nice to look at. Again, there's no sense of atmosphere, though. That's the weird thing about this, is that Silent Hill is primed for atmosphere, and it's just not showcasing it for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because it looks too pretty. I don't know if it's just the overuse of CGI. I don't know if it's something else entirely. I don't know. I'm not a filmmaker. And you have this girl being jittery. It's like, you know what was neat and creepy? Going to an empty classroom. There's a phone. You leave. It rains. You come back. And you answer the phone. And it's your daughter crying for help. As you see the back of Harry Mason. As he's listened to his daughter cry for help, but he can't do anything. That to me is still more of an effective scene than anything in this movie. At least to me. Why the fuck is Pyramid in this fucking movie? He should not be in this fucking movie. That's this fucking game. It was meant to be the representation of this guy's fucking guilt. This guy right here. His fucking guilt. Whole point of the goddamn story. Or one of the whole points of the goddamn story. What in the fuck? And more of this useless Sean Bean horseshit that, again, I bet you could edit it out and you wouldn't miss a fucking thing. There probably are people that did edits that edited this shit out. It just makes the film go over 2 fucking hours long, which is way too goddamn long. Again, you could go, I'm going to recommend I know his name, but I would say I don't, but I'm bad with names. You could spend 2 hours watching. Let me double check his name, damn it. This is a guy who edited a wonderful job editing these games into a movie. And damn it, I want to get his name. If I can find the Liquid Snake Z28. Silent Hill 1 4K movie extended cut with good plus ending. Hour and 57 minutes, and that movie is more That's my Silent Hill movie. I'll say that there. That's my Silent Hill movie. That's my Silent Hill film. Not this bullshit. That's my Silent Hill movie. In fact, I'm going to download it to watch it again as I'm watching this fucking movie. Well, they're two different mediums, Matt. Yeah, well, I didn't for PlayStation 1. I prefer... I prefer a lot of other things. Yeah, come on, bitch. Again, there's no sense of mood, dread, atmosphere, suspense. That's why a lot of times in the game, it's a fairly quiet game. And you're wandering through the dark, wandering from room to room. Is there a monster here? Is there not? That's part of the... Yeah, what you hear. Instead, it's like some mandate. We need action, and I'm an action guy. But Silent Hill is not meant for that. That's meant for Resident Evil, and other stuff. But at least Sybil has the. There you go. Don't say shut up. Da 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 da. At the end, I'm like, this isn't fucking... I don't really want to be slasher film now. I just feel that they want to be slasher film. And people who don't know the games, they don't say, what the fuck is this stupid looking idiot with a fucking pyramid on his head? What the fuck is that? They don't say, what the fuck is that dumb shit? And the people who know the game are like, why the fuck is he in this? That's not his purpose. Like, why is he here? What is he meant to represent? Nothing. Because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they were doing with the sequel either. And here's another thing. It's Silent Hill. Is it ever fucking nighttime? Well, it will be later, to be fair. But it's like... a good portion of the game is you're in the dark. It makes it more atmospheric and creepy. And you don't have much of jack shit about that. Some fucking reason. Still fucking daytime. I remember the audience laughed at that with Laurie Holden going, what the fuck? And the audience laughed in the theater. What the fuck? And I would say I like Laurie Holden even as Sybil. When I talk about the acting, I'm talking about, we haven't gotten them yet, the supporting characters. Why is she telling a cop is going to be okay? And the game is the other way around. Because Sybil was a police officer. But yet Ronna Mitchell's handled it better than the fucking police officer. More of this useless Sean the Beanie Baby bullshit. That leads to nothing. Jack shit. Literally, if people watch it, they probably fast forward through these parts. Here's another thing. You could have easily, if you, okay, we put Sean Bean there, but he does one bit, and then you could cut that in half. You could just say we don't have 3 scenes. But like every fucking 10 minutes it goes back to this shit that no one fucking cares about. Again, you never get a sense of, well, rarely get a sense of this isolation. And we're like 56 minutes in. There's still over an hour to go. Oh god, this is... Want to talk about the acting? Here we go with the acting. This is what I'm talking about. This lady coming up is fucking abysmal. So fucking abysmal, this actress. Fucking abysmal. Little Miss Buffett. Stop your lies. Little Miss Buffett. How can you be a bad actress when your line is "My name is Anna"? Not even the daughters will want her. They deserve to lose their spawn. Mother needs more food. She acts like a fucking robot trying to act like a fucking human being. You know what I honestly think when I first saw this movie? This scene is when it started losing me. I think, I'm like, okay, it's a movie, blah, blah, blah. But I was like, what the fuck is this lady just... Terrible line reading. The elders of my elders have built, side of our unity, the side of our faith. Which is also one of those things is that with the Silent Hill games, the sequel had a strong female lead because it was the daughter. But again, it's like... I don't understand the whole thing where... The Silent Hill world is feminine. So again, there's no women. I mean, there's no men except the bad guys in hoods, outfits, or there's usually Sean the Beanie stuff. Too bad it's Sean Bean, like him thinking he's just making a completely different fucking movie. Like he thinks he's making, I don't know, the Pelican Brief or All the President's Men, just, about the scandal, looking, police and records and phone calls and only about, looking for his wife and shit. Think he's Woodward or Bernstein, gonna uncover the truth. You ain't gonna uncover dog shit. You ain't gonna uncover dog shit? No. It's buried beneath common sense. Just like this movie. But I recommend Liquid Snake Z28. Silent Hill 1 4K movie extended cut with good plus ending. He's an excellent editor. Excellent editor. Can't recommend him enough. Some bitch shit. Like, if you took his edit and just made that a movie, I mean, I said like the Silent Hill game has all these monsters, like these bosses that you fight. Like, think about in this first Silent Hill game when you're in the basement of the school and that creepy monster that you gotta hit the right spot in its mouth, and you're this pillar of fire, and you gotta imagine you're with the hero with a gun, and it coming over here and going back, and you're keeping it in between, and you keep it in shadow, but you see glimpses. And no, this movie ain't about any of that. It's got a fucking cult that has 100 fucking people in it. So in a town with 100 fucking extra people, so again, claustrophobia and alien. I keep repeating it over and over again. Let's just disregard all that shit. And then you take Sybil and you kill her by burning her on a fucking pyre? Burn her to death? Fuck you, movie. Yeah, there's a ending of the Silent Hill 1 where Sybil dies because she's been infected. You have to kill her. But there's also the ending where she survives. And you both make it out alive and fine. So really you didn't need to kill her off. You did not. Sound like Tommy Wiseau. I did not. But yeah, the first Silent Hill game, I remember back to the day when you had magazines, and I was working. No, that was before that. My mom was nice enough to buy me a magazine. It was a video game magazine that had a demo disc in it, and in one of them was the trailer, the opening movie of the Silent Hill 1 game. And then you just really enjoyed that game. And the Silent Hill 2, those are the ones I played the most. But yeah, if they wanted to do Ronna Mitchell and they would do all this shit with the cult, like, then make your own story. Don't take the Alessa little girl story. Again, since Silent Hill 2 is his own separate, Silent Hill Downpour is his own separate story, and why don't you just do that? It's in the Silent Hill world, but this is the story that's being detailed. Of course, then people go, well, what the fuck? Why don't you do Silent Hill 1? Well, because they didn't want to do it correctly. But yeah, I know a lot of people like this film. It has a fan base. It has a big fan base. I mean, if I looked at a list of video game movies, yeah, this is kind of in the middle, despite all the negative shit, because there's a lot of bad, horrible ones that this is better. I mean, it's better than Uwe Boll's films. I mean, Super Mario Brothers, it was his own different beast and animal, and I actually liked it. Double Dragon, I hate it. Street Fighter, I don't hate it as much as I did before, but I don't think it's that good. Mortal Kombat, 1995 film, I think it's one of the best video game movies. Mortal Kombat Annihilation was stunk. Wing Commander stunk. I like Lara Croft Tomb Raider from 2001. First Resident Evil, I could deal with. It's the best Resident Evil movie, sadly. Tomb Raider 2, Cradle of Life, boring. House of the Dead, awful. Resident Evil sequels, horrible. Alone in the Dark, dog shit. Doom, I like Doom. Blood Rain, terrible. DOA, terrible. Postal, one of the worst. Hitman, boring as shit. Far Cry, Max Payne, whew. I'll say like Silent Hill is better than Max Payne, is better than Postal, is better than DOA, is better than Blood Rain, better than Blood Rain, better than Blood Rain, better than Alone in the Dark, Alone in the Dark 2, better than Dead Trigger with Dolph Lundgren, which was horrible, better than the new Mortal Kombat, better than the new Resident Evil. Welcome to Raccoon City, bitch. Like, it's one of the better video game films by default. There's ain't much fucking shit to compare it to. For good. It's just you compare it with a lot of bad fucking movies. But yeah, I mean, Sonic the Hedgehog I put above this. Doom, people demand me, I put it above this. The first Lara Croft, Mortal Kombat, I put above this. Yes, I would put Super Mario Bros. Above this. I'd rather watch that than this. But yeah, a lot of these stuff, I mean, Silent Hill's better than... That's sad. If I did a top 10, it probably would be the top 10 by default. Live action wise. Live action wise. And that terrible acting from the kid. Look at me. I'm burning. Yeah, burn your face off. Burn your whole fucking face off, lady. I hate this fucking movie, man. There's a big part of me that just hates this fucking movie. I can't help it, man. God damn. God damn. Dude, the way these characters like interact with each other. This is what it is. A symbol of your faith. And this like, the darkness is coming. It's like, again, the way these characters interact and the way they staged and the dialect is spoken, it's just so off. And it's like, some would probably say it's trying to recreate the awkward cutscenes in the game. That's not a good thing to do. Birds. What is this, Resident Evil with birds? Again, the first Silent Hill was such a mind trip of a game. It was such a mind fuck of a game. Like, you would enter, you'd be at the school, you enter the clock tower, and it feels like going up, and you go through another door, and then, wait a minute, I'm right back in the school, but things have changed? What the hell's going on? It's like, this doesn't want to let the audience trust the audience that they can try to think for themselves and... Or like in the game, like when you get to near the last level and it's like each room you go into feels like as if you're being teleported all around town, and you look at the map and it says you're nowhere. It's this mind trip fuckery and these weird rooms with cages, but they have here. Sounds like there's birds in there, but there isn't. I did that one woman's like, filth and lies. Who the fuck is this lady, man? Who is this dog shit lady? Is it Tanya Allen as Anna? Yeah, I don't know. I know they said her name. I fucking forgot already. Again, why are we standing there? Why don't we run? Just run. Just go in the fucking thing. Yeah, it is Tanya Allen. Yeah, Tanya Allen sucked ass in this. Sorry, Tanya Allen. I thought you and your character sucked. Worst actress in the whole damn movie. Maybe that's why she gets killed off here. Like, I'm not going to try to help. Fuck that shit. I'm not going to try to help. I'm just going to watch. Pretty gory moment. So yeah, maybe no. Maybe the director thought it was making like a Hellraiser movie at times. Again, this is like I remember in the theater going, "What the fuck? Who the fuck are all these people? Like, who the shit is all this? Who the fuck are all these wankers and assholes? What the fuck does this have to do with the game? And what the fuck are like 100 of these goddamn piece of shit people here? What the fuck's going on?" And now we're in this bullshit with this fucking cult and religious mumbo jumbo, and there's Alice Treat, the board queen from Star Trek First Contact, as Tristabella. Tristabella. I'm looking at some info. When the decision was made to adapt Silent Hill, they phoned streamer Roger Avery. When you're going to film something, especially a game, you need to be ready to take everything apart and then put it together in a new way. The only thing that remains of the original material is the main idea, the concept, which all your actions have subordinate to. He kept some storylines and tried to combine the rest of the elements into new compositions. The director is more faithful to the creator's intention, and the screenwriter preferred to interpret the original material broadly. So we have a director that says, well, it's all feminine, and you don't need the guy to be a guy. Then you have a writer that says, well, yeah, but do it broadly, interpret it broadly. It's the main idea, but just... then why make the fucking game into a movie if you don't care about the actual details? Sorry, this fucking movie fried my mind. I can't help it. Especially when you see Sean Bean says, just, what am I supposed to talk about? Here's a nun, one none of it. Scenes that no one gives a flying fuck about. An FF about. According to the director's initial idea, 6 pyramid heads were to be present in the film's finale, destroying the religious cult with various weapons. An allusion to Dante's Inferno. But it was not done because of budgetary constraints. Yeah, 6 pyramid heads. Again, people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. By the way, the change didn't bother me in the least because the game is a game and the film is a film. Yeah, and I would rather just play the game. Because when you take the film, that's like, I don't know, let's do... If they try to do another Die Hard film, but it wasn't John McClane, people are like, what the fuck? Well, it's not called John McClane. I'm not even going to say Harry is like the most... But that's the thing, is that you can take what flaws you have of Harry in the game, that he's not the most developed character because of this type of game. But then you can develop the character. Throughout the fucking movie, you could develop the character. You could... Maybe the world of Silent Hill is messing with his mind and psyche, but so it's showing reality of what he's seen on the past. And okay, I remember my friend Michael playing Evil Within 2. I have the game, I haven't played it yet, but I saw him play it. And there's a bit where the main character is going down the stairs of Evil Within 2, and on the walls, like a projector, is showing all the scenes happening from Evil Within 1. So you're within the scene doing something, but it's still telling a story and more of a back. Well, those who played the first game know, but a refresher course of this character, what they can do with the character. You know, people say, oh, let's remake Silent Hill, the first game. Well, again, if you had a good movie to watch that. Almost like a more HD version of the first game. Or is it the same now that we're going to write Beowulf in 2007, Roger Avery? And Christoph Gans, what did he do next? He did one other fucking film, a 2014 version of Beauty and the Beast. Hip hip fucking hooray. Again, instead of show, don't tell. We're showing this world in these weird way the world plays tricks on you and going all these different avenues of showcasing the dark recesses of this town, investigating on your own, finding clues to lead to where you need to go. But in fucking stead, we gotta have 100 fucking cult members pissing around. Mother's God in the eyes of a child, yeah. Well, goddamn it. Goddamn this fucking movie, too. Thank God you left that. Well, she didn't leave it, to be fair, but it's funny she grabbed that, and she didn't even know why she grabbed it, but she didn't give it right back to her. She'll wait to do it, but she could like give it her. Oh, hey, you dropped something. Hey, I believe this is yours. And the fact they had to fucking drag this out till for 2 goddamn hours long. Fucking ridiculous. You have the Hellraiser type of ending. You have going through the hallway of nurses. You got these people that don't gives a shit what these people are. And they'll be called witches. And then Laurie Holden gets killed, which was bullshit. That's the thing. You didn't have all the reference and Easter eggs that you want. Like, okay, that map. To be fair, looks more like the map, not the one I was saying before. That looks like the map that you would pull up in the game. But Easter eggs and references can only get you so far. Again, you took the game series that was creepy and scary and moody and atmospheric, and you captured none of that. What's she doing? The Konami code? B A B A start. Up up down down left right B B B. Here's an idea. Why don't you get a fucking piece of paper and draw it? Or can't you take the map down and just... Aren't those maps you just rip out of the wall, you just take down? Or just give me a piece of paper and a pen and write the map down? Why do you have to memorize it? Did someone tell me that? Why you have to memorize the map? No one, I guess... There was a fucking school. They can't find a piece of paper and a pen. And, okay, draw this so I know what the fuck. So I don't have to fucking memorize it. And of course she hands it like this. You know, not normal like this. Like, here you go. Like this. Also, it makes no sense why she stays behind. It makes no absolute fucking sense whatsoever as to why she stays behind. She could have easily gotten in, tore the thing off, and then she would be helping her get the girl. They just did it for just because. But again, it's like, there's no reason for Sybil to have stayed behind. You could crawl... She had the gun. They didn't know she didn't have bullets. Get back. She crawls in, rip the thing. They're both in the elevator. So it was a self-sacrifice that wasn't even needed to be a self-sacrifice. It makes no fucking sense whatsoever. It's fucking stupid. And what did she get for helping out? She gets the shit kicked out of her, beaten up, and then she's gonna be burned alive. And then they beat her up some more. To a bloody pulp, and then they burn her alive. What the fuck? That's overkill. And is that supposed to represent the horror? Just overkill bullshit. And again, it makes no sense why she stayed behind. Also, if this girl is controlling this shit and this woman's important, why is she... Like, it's made to assume that Alessa needs this woman and needs her help. Needs her help. If that's the case, then why are you not... Hey, nurses, get the fuck out. I need this girl. She's going to help me out. Like, why would you have the risk of getting this girl killed when you need her? Because in the game, it was more about... This darkness was created because of this... I don't know if I want to call it empty shell, but... The cult wanted to make a rebirth of their god, for their god to be reborn. It's not really the case here. Here's these nurses. But it's the sexy nurses from the second game. The reason, and like, why are they the sexy nurses? In Sound Hill 2, the reason they're the sexy nurses is that was a development of James's sexual frustration. Just spoiler alert for those who haven't played Silent Hill 2, his wife was sick all these years and years, and she would berate him and do all sorts of horrible stuff. And ultimately, one day, she begged to die, but then she would also do all this, and he couldn't do anything because she was so sick, and all the trouble and tribulations and anguish. And ultimately, ended up with killing her. You say he was trying to ease her suffering, but also a bit of selfishness of, I was tired of having my life gone because of this. And this guilt that was a huge part of him. And that's why you had the monster that looked like a straitjacket. You had the pyramid head. There was his punishment for what he did. There was these nurses represent the sexual frustration, not be able to deal with anyone or deal with her because of what was going on. I also thought it was so weird to do it because the nurses, I never knew they would light the light. I mean, well, I guess, yeah, if you turn on the light, they'll notice you, to be fair, but it's like the ending of a game. Great job. You just defeated the first wave. Then we got another fucking exposition thing, man. And just explain in case you're too fucking stupid to get it. Explain everything. Explain it. With a girl that's not that good of a fucking actress, in my opinion. I'm sorry, I don't think she's that good. I've seen much better kid actors. I've seen worse, but I've seen better kid actors. Maybe it was the way she was directed, to be fair. But Jodelle Ferland. I mean, she was in Blood Rain 2, Twilight Saga, Eclipse, The Cabin in the Woods. She was in The Cabin in the Woods? Fuck, I don't remember that. Who the fuck was she in Cabin in the Woods? Patience Buckner? Or was that like one of the zombie, like hillbilly zombie things? Be like, why are you talking about the exposition? Because it's fucking useless exposition. Over-explained. Think it'll be creepy because try to look like a grindhouse film. I guess it's called killed her because she was a bastard, what you want to call it. Like, I remember sitting in the theater sitting there going, what the fuck is this shit now going on? Burn, baby, burn. Disco Inferno, burn, baby, burn. So bad it burned the film. God. But I guess at least now all the men are evil. Tim Coast tried to help. That's why he was able to, not be trapped. So they tried to burn Alessa. Alessa got burned heavily. And the hate just started to change the world. It is revealed that Alessa was stigmatized by the townspeople for being a bastard. So Alice Creed convinced Dalia to purify Alessa after Alessa was R to the A to the PED by the school janitor. So Alice Creed burned her during a ritual, but Dalia alerted Tim Coates' character. They arrived too late and the ritual went awry, igniting the infamous coal fire. In the hospital and in pain, her rage splits her soul apart. One half as the dark entity for shifting dimensions. The innocence was Sharon, taken to the real world to be adopted. I'm sitting there going, what the fuck, really? Like, that was a story? I mean, even the game, it was like, the rebirth of a god. Whatever. Whatever. And like, okay, this was a nurse that was with her, but why keep this nurse here other than, hey, remember this nurse in red in the first game? That's like the only fucking reason she's here. Is reference, 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 reference. Reference, 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 reference. By the way, if you wanted her to get here so damn badly, why did you almost kill her with the nurses? Can you answer that question? Yeah, I want you here because I need you here because you understand, Rose. But she needs your help. But I almost had the nurses rip your head off. No, you're Punty Brewster. Yeah, so the one in the bed, her soul was split into the evil there and the good that was the baby. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back ribs. I want my baby back ribs. Yeah, dream this. Dream this. Again, there's so much fucking talking and explaining and not having any sense of mystery, any sense of, oh, well, maybe this is this and you can interpret it in this way. And granted, yeah, a lot of times I agree with the flip side of that. And I'm usually the guy that, oh, it's ambiguous and this and that. But the game did it well. That's the, if you do it well, that it's done well. And the games did it well. And at the end of the day, they were creepy. You felt it. You ever feel it? Just a bunch of fucking talking. Yeah, trust a evil-looking child like that. Just trust her. Sure. What could happen? What bad stuff could happen? Now she don't hump your leg. Right now during her orgasm. Wait, then this is Evil Dead? We're gonna get you, not another peep. And that's what I mean, like, when I... See, that's what I'm talking about. What? Okay, talk about now. The first chunk of the film feels very much like the game. But then when you get more and more, it's just... What is all this bullshit that's tackling on where it's... How the hell did no one see that little girl run in there? All these fucking people that we don't give a flying fuck about. And you know, for some reason, like, let's make Dalia good guy, good. Call her good guy. I don't know. All this other shit we gotta push in there and just drag the fucking running time. Hour and 30. We got 26 fucking minutes to go, and we got another Shaun the Beanie Baby with Tim Coates. I'm gonna arrest your ass. No, I'm gonna put you here and you get the fuck out. Do the Hitcher 2, I've been waiting. No, good. Shitty sequel anyway. Should be sorry enough because he did that remake. Oh my god. I know it's not the best commentary, I apologize. I'm trying, folks, I'm trying. I'm not the best guy. I mean, I did do a review of the game, and the review is much more compact compared to this rambling commentary. But yeah, as a Soundhill fan, it's like, okay, so we had this long exposition scene. Then we had this whole Shaun the Beanie Baby stuff. Now we don't have this whole wannabe cult film, burning someone at the on the fire pit. Like, seriously, if you took those three scenes, would you really think Silent Hill? Or like a really screwy remake of, I don't know, The Wicker Man or something. Yeah, fire it. Fire it up. Fire it up. Mm-hmm. Also, what was the point of keeping Sybil alive just to burn her to death here? Like, you could have had where it cuts away, she got beat to death on camera. No, we gotta watch her burned alive now. I guess their intention was to make the cult even more evil and hateable and get their just desserts when they're getting killed. I would assume. Of course, you would think all the stuff they did to the little girl in the flashback would have showcased that too, but... And yeah, I remember watching this in the theater, remember the game and going, what the fuck movie am I watching now? Like, it was Silent Hill, and then it turned to this cult Wicker Man, what the fuck else you want to call it? Puritan, pontificating, polywhacker bullshit. And then must be a fucking wannabe Hellraiser with the barbed wire shit at the end. If it was chains, it would be Hellraiser. Huh. As I'm gonna quit death, we have to. And it's supposed to be horrifying. This is a horror film, but I don't know about the effects either. Like, this last 45 minutes is such a boring stalemate. Again, all that creativity in the Silent Hill 1 game, all the damn creepy atmosphere, like the sewer. Even the sewer, there were creepy aspects and monsters. The bosses, the flying creatures, the boss with the mouth that you gotta hit the right spot, the right shot in order to kill it. That carnival, that creepy carnival, because it's a town, so there's a fair, and the creepy aspects of the fair that you're going through, and the creepy merry-go-round, and like all these visuals you could dictate for dread, and let's not use any of that. This whole mind game of you go into one thing but you're in another thing, and you go into one but you're in another, and play true mind games. God damn, man. Bunch of fucking horse shit. Horse to the shit. Yeah, more fucking exposition. You gotta tell them what we already was told. So we were already told this by the little bitch, and then she gotta tell them, and they're not gonna believe her anyway. So it's like exposition on top of exposition, and then the Sean Beanie the baby exposition, and then god damn, man. No wonder Roger Ebert would say it's like, I don't think it's confusing as people make it out to be because I played the game, so I get. I don't think the plot's confusing if I'm being honest and not being facetious. But it's meandering as exposition, like and not wanting the audience to figure anything out on its own. Lead you by the hand. Fucking hell in the handbasket. Oh. Christoph Gans gender swapped the character as he believed the journey to rescue the beloved child would be more believable if the protagonist was a mother. More believable, my ass. See, that stuff just makes me just want to write off the film, piss me off. I can't help it, I'm just being honest. Just being fucking honest. Maybe you just write off the fucking movie. Oh, fuck you. Christoph Gans, fuck you. It's funny, is that your producer says Silent Hill, it deals with the terror of loneliness, the fear of the dark, the fear of taking responsibility for your own evil side, the fear of your own fate. Yeah, the fear of the dark? There ain't no fear of the dark in this fucking movie. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't. This, to me, screams Hellraiser. I know Pinhead would use chains, not barbed wire, but still. There could be some that use barbed wire. And I get it. I get when people go, well, if you don't look at it from the game point of view, you look at it as a movie point of view. I get it. I mean, I do that with Super Mario Brothers. I've done that with Doom. But ideas like Silent Hill, I care about it too much, just like maybe someone cares about Mario Brothers too much or Doom too much. Sometimes you just can't help it. Sometimes you just can't find a place to drop a bomb and get rid of a bomb. I will admit this is a pretty violent part. Especially when the barbed wire goes up her cooter. It's like, damn. Upper cooter out her mouth. There you go. Right there. Right up her pussy. And coming right out her fucking mouth. You're like, yeah, it's pretty crazy. Pretty damn crazy. There it goes out of her chest first. There's one out of her mouth. In the faraway shot. It's like, hey, get the fuck out of my face, dude. People just ripped up in the CGI Bloodland. But again, it's just none of this second act really feels like Silent Hill. I mean, even this portion, I mean, I like Hellraiser and Hellraiser 2. But again, this doesn't feel like Silent Hill. It just doesn't. Unless, I don't know what the fuck Silent Hill games Christoph Gans played, where this is like Silent Hill. Tell me which ones they were, let me know. I mean, I guess, to be fair, technically there's the final bosses you attack and they get a bit crazy. But even then, it's just... there's even more emotion to it, like Silent Hill 2, or more... I don't know. Why would you hold someone's eyes like that, like this, instead of this? Like, why would you hold it like this? Why wouldn't you go like this? Or this? But you hold it like this. That's a really bad job of doing it. Yeah, let me close your eyes. Let me close your eyes. Oh shit, maybe you do like this? What are you doing? Like, that's a weird closed eyes. Okay, let me do like this. I don't think doing like this is really, gonna work. And then what's weird is the sequel is shittier. In the sequel, like in this, they're trapped in this world. But then in the sequel, this girl is now grown up. So somehow she got her out into the real world. And then she didn't remember and she grew up. And her mom was stuck here, I guess. And to try to explain how the fuck that happened, I don't even know. I don't even fucking know. It's dumbass bullshit is what it is. Jesus Christ. Well, January 2020, Christoph Gans expressed an interest in working on another Silent Hill film. No, dude. No. Goodbye. No. Sorry, but no. You fucked it up already the first time. In my opinion. You may get the visual aesthetic at times. I say at times because you don't get the creep atmosphere factor. You get some of the lush landscape factor, like these shots of the stuff, in this case Ash, falling down. Those shots you get. The camera work shots you get. But anything to be creepy or scary, not in the slightest. Ronna Mitchell was able to free the daughter from the fog world using one half of a talisman called the Seal of Metatron, but she remained trapped in Silent Hill. Okay. Then at the end of the film, Sean Bean decides to stay in Silent Hill to fight and free Rose, leaving the two to care for each other. You think the daughter would be like, no, I want to help you find the mom as well. And I remember the sequel also had like a random reference to Silent Hill Downpour. Or like a fucking prison transport. I'm like, okay, so what? You want Silent Hill 3 to be a fucking trying to find Ronna Mitchell as well as Silent Hill Downpour? Fucking hell, man. And then here they're... I guarantee you audiences who don't know shit about Silent Hill, they were confused as fuck as this ending as to what the fuck was going on in this ending. What the fuck does this mean? Well, it means you're shit out of luck. This is what it means. It means you're shit out of luck. Just shit out of luck. What you gonna say? Shit out of luck, man. It's fucking shit out of luck. And for some reason they just have her just look at the camera. I just, hey, in case you don't know she's evil, she's looking at the camera like a fucking weirdo. Yeah, they're in the other dimension. I don't know why the fuck a power of a medallion or whatever would be like, wouldn't Alessa want to be in the real world here? But whatever. She has the power to do that shit. And then it's supposed to be a fucking... trying to be creepy and scary of an ending. And then you have this ending song from Silent Hill 3. I remember in the theater just being really like, what the fuck, dude? Like, despite hiccups, like, okay, when I first saw this, my process in my brain was, okay, there's differences, I'll let them go, because it's a movie, but the first half, or like the first 30, 40 minutes, I'm enjoying because there's still a little bit of Ronna Mitchell going through the town. There's some monsters I recognize from some of the games. There's Sybil, and okay, let's see where this leads to. And they did it. It's just like, that's trying to be Silent Hill, even though it has its issues and problems, and then it just wasn't anymore. It just stopped being that, and whatever the fuck else it was trying to be. I just think about like a lot of the other creepy moments in the game that they didn't capture, like the weird bit where you're in this locker and there's a pounding on you open, there's a cat in it. You're like, what the hell? And when it runs off, you hear the cat die, and it's like, oh shit, maybe there's something out there. Or the wall of TVs that just start up and there's your kid crying for safety, and you just watch it. Just ways you do it to be eerie and sinister, and like the movie didn't want to fucking do it for some reason. I didn't, for a guy who's such a big fucking fan of the game. I don't know what the fuck he meant by that. He says he's such a big fan of the story. This didn't capture much of the story in the way the game did. Game was this nice, like, slow burn, eerie, and If you love the film, that's cool. If you like the film, that's cool. Obviously, this is just where we agree to disagree. To me, the film is just a pain in the fucking ass to me. In my opinion, just a pain in the fucking ass. So with that said, thanks for watching, guys. Take care. It is better than Silent Hill 2, the movie. Just come by with fucking late. Is it Silent Hill Retribution, where goddamn Pyramid Head fight? Because now Pyramid Head is a good guy, protector, whatever the hell that was meant to be. Christ Almighty in heaven. Sorry. With that, we'll see you guys later. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.